That was a moment. That was a real moment for all of us.
What?
Did you ever think we were going to be here tonight, that we'd ever get to this point?
I knew we'd get here. Tom was going to will it to happen.
It feels amazing. I mean, it not only feels great to bring it to San Diego, it feels great to bring it to the world, and it feels great to bring it into theaters, and it feels great to bring people into theaters. All of the things that we've been missing over the last 2 years, we're finally able to get back, do it safely, and I think it's going to blow some people's doors off.
I'm so excited about it that I couldn't think about it every day, otherwise my shoulders would be up here. So you'd have to kind of distract yourself and know it's coming. And then you talk to Tom and he says, it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming.
Tom, how are you? Nice to see you. Good. I'm Sean from Cinema Blend.
Hi, Sean.
We grew up on movies with soundtracks,
Yes,
and yours
I know.
was significant.
Yeah,
at the
Simpson
time.
Bruckheimer, they knew how to do that,
They
man.
really
They invented it.
So, tell me about the importance of music to the success of the first Top Gun. Did you get to choose the song you sang, and the music that you're bringing?
Actually, we did. We worked on that. That was from the four of us, me, Simpson Bruckheimer, and Warren, and Tony. When we were working on the script, we were talking about that scene. And yeah, we picked that song together. Yeah. We all picked it, and Anthony Edwards came in and, just killed it.
That's me, honey. What about the music in this one?
Oh, it was, with every film, score is incredibly important. And in a Top Gun movie, it was like, what is that? How do, it's always, everything was like, how do you top it? I was like, I'm not going to try to top it. I just want to be authentic to the story we're telling. And when Gaga came in with that song, we had Lauren Balfe, who produced it, and Hans Zimmer I've known since Rain Man. I brought him in on Rain Man and Days of Thunder, and Harold Faltermeyer, of course, since I knew from the first Top Gun. So you have all of these elements. And then Gaga came in with this song, and it was the element that I thought, it became our score. It became the heartbeat of the film with what she did. And I called her, I said, I don't think you understand emotionally what I was so concerned until I heard that piece. And I knew that piece, what it does, how it married our story emotionally. And so that was a moment. That was a real moment for all of us.
It really was.
Yeah.
When you did the music for Top Gun, when you were working on that music, it fits the action so incredibly well. Did you get a chance to see the footage before you worked on the songs that went with the movie?
Danger Zone was primarily written by Giorgio Moroder, who was definitely writing to the visuals. So the whole opening of the movie with the aircraft carrier scenes, he'd already seen it. He got the tempo, he got the melodic ideas from that.
Right.
And then I came in, I did a little tweaking at the last minute and sang the song really on the 11th hour, because the people they thought they had recording it dropped out.
Who was that supposed to be? Do you remember?
Well, it's urban legend now. A bunch of people claim it. Mickey Thomas claims it for Jefferson Starship. Okay. Toto claims it. I got to refresh my memory. There are about two other acts. REO Speedwagon claimed it, but I got it.
Do you have a favorite between Footloose and Top Gun?
Today, it's definitely Danger Zone. And you won't get me to say anything else.
When you are up in the jets,
Yes.
how does it feel to blow a line or to mess up a take when you know how long it takes to reset?
It's not embarrassing at all because you're the only one up there. It's just you and your pilot. So I will say it is very, very hard to remember lines when the blood is being drained from your head from G's. So I would always have my lines on my thigh. Okay. So what you'd always have is like this knee pad. And you'd have, in addition to your altitude and your airspeed and all that stuff, you'd have all your lines. So nothing embarrassing about it because I'm running the camera. But you do get on the ground and you have to do it in front of the whole crew. You have to show all of that footage in front of the entire crew. So you're like, hey man, maybe we just forward past this part,
Well, we're up there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. You know that Paramount is paying a lot of money every time they start the jet up, let alone us flying around there. And there's a lot of pressure of like, okay, don't F this up. So you just have to keep going and going again. And there was one time we started the jet up and I was sick immediately. and I was like, oh, I'm sick. How can I do this? But when you think about all the people that's going to see your footage, you're like, you got to power through it.
I think this movie does a pretty incredible job of putting the audience in the back of an F-18. That's why Tom convinced us to get in the back of the F-18. He's like, you can't simulate this thing with green screen. You gotta show the G's on people's faces. You gotta put actors in the back of that jet. So I think this movie, we were even worried that audiences would think this movie was too intense. Tom at one point thought about doing a Top Gun and a Top Gun Extreme because he thought there are certain audiences that couldn't handle the visceral and intense footage that we were churning out.
With all that extra footage, you could probably cut that
I think
together.
there could be a Top Gun Extreme. There's a whole other movie in there.
As someone who specializes in scenes where we watch them and go, how the hell did they do that? Are you able to immerse yourself in a movie like this, or are you still looking at the scenes and thinking, how?
Oh no, this one, I mean, I actually love watching this movie. I think part of that is that I have the luxury of not having directed it, so I can watch this movie with a little bit more objectivity than I do looking at my own, but watching it with an audience in a big theater is really rewarding.
Any innovations from camera standpoint that we're looking forward to in the new missions?
Everything is an innovation from the last movie. I mean, if you follow Rogue Nation to American Made to Fallout to Top Gun, each one of those movies is us taking the knowledge of the previous movie and saying, we could have done this a little better, and we've applied it to something in the next that it's going to blow you away.
One of Maverick's lines is, don't think, do. Is that good advice for someone who wants to get into this industry?
That's the only advice. You can't talk about it, you have to do it. You have to participate. Even in a scene, if you tell a director, I have an idea that I want to show me. It's the whole mantra of this business, like do. Don't ask, don't talk, just do.
For sure, but you should also think about what you're getting into too. But it's been a wonderful profession for me and the experiences I've been able to get. And so yeah, just don't think, just do. That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, listen, sometimes you have to trust your instincts, certainly when casting, and you got to trust those instincts. You got to make a movie that you want to see. You can't make it for other people. So I do feel like that's good advice. There are times you have to think, and there are times you just have to feel.
Why do you have to think? I mean, just go after your dreams. Go after whatever you want. That's what I did. I was a first grade teacher, and I said, why am I thinking about doing something else when I can just go after what I love doing?
From a classroom to the red carpet, man. Look at you now.
Look at the transition. That's insane, dude. I was thinking about going back as a substitute and just like, hey, let me go and teach you.
After this movie drops, you go back in.
I would do that. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in with one of the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible masks, and then, in the middle of my lesson, I'm gonna be like, I'm Coyote.
It feels like after this movie, Joe Kosinski is going to pop and everyone's going to want to work with him. What's he like as a collaborator?
Amazing. I've gotten to work with him twice. I worked with him on a movie called Only the Brave, which I think he also did a great job on. He did a great job with this, and he's so lovely to spend time with. I think he's great.
He's wonderful. He's a lovely guy. There's no small amount of pressure taking on a project like this. There's a lot of expectation, and he just nailed it. He struck the perfect tone, the perfect balance between nostalgia for the first one and then continuing on the story. And he not only made a wonderful action movie, but he made a movie with a hell of a lot of heart and a lot of emotion in it. And it's a very fun ride.
What is the scene, if you could sneak into a theater and watch it with an opening night crowd, what's the scene you can't wait for them to see?
I love Mav's low-level flight. About the midpoint where he proves something can be done. That was a very special flight. We had to get special permission from the Navy to fly below 50 feet. And what Tom did in that scene, I think, will never be done again.
Your kind is headed for extinction.
Maybe so, sir. But not today.
I'm going to hit you with a really hard question because it's a carpet.
Okay.
Did you get to pick your character's glasses?
I did.
Did you?
I was presented a case.
Right.
I got to pick the watch, I got to pick the glasses, and I got to pick my wedding ring.
I feel like the aviators define a naval character like that.
Oh, I made sure I had mine, yes. They make you feel like a pilot and like a badass, if I can say that.